Please do not blink. I will take 10 minutes to quickly learn all the technical parameters of integrated insulation boards for building exterior walls without dismantling. What construction are we seeing now? Bath window panel. Then some people say it's wrong. Why is the bay window panel so thick? More than 200 mm thick. Why? Because there is a 12 cm thick insulation board below. Why do we call this insulation board? Integrated insulation board for exterior walls for building use. It is integrated with our bay window panel construction during the main construction. Integrated casting. This component is 50 thick vitrified microbads. 70 thick XPS core material. The two materials together form our disassembly-free integrated insulation board. 50 thick vitrified microbads are rigid. It has both thermal insulation and fire resistance. 70 thick XPS core material. The main function is fire protection. Then now the problem is 50 thick vitrified microbads. What is its fire resistance level? 70 thick XPS core material. What is its fire resistance level? How do they be constructed? You can discuss it first. Let's go down to the next level. Let me show you our exterior wall insulation board. Okay, go a little further. Okay, go a little further. Let's do a little more. You can discuss it first. We are going to show you the exterior wall soon. Good. Okay, that's it. Okay, that's the height. Good. What you see now is our building exterior wall. How wide is the exterior wall now? We visually estimate that it is 300 mm wide, right? 300 mm wide. What is it composed of? 108 mm shear wall. This place has a 108 mm thick shear wall. 12 cm thick. 12 cm thick exterior walls for building without dismantling. Let's take a look. This place has 50 thick vitrified microbads, rigid layer. 70 thick XPS core insulation layer. What I want to tell you is that the 50 thick vitrified microbads have a first-class fire resistance. 70 thick XPS core material, its fire resistance level is bone. Then, what everyone is concerned about now is the thermal conductivity. Thermal conductivity, our 12 cm thick insulation board is 0.44, which is better than the building code 0.45. Ours is above the norm. What everyone is concerned about now is how it is constructed, right? Like these discs, what does it do? What is the spacing between the disc? Is it integrated with our exterior wall? Will it cause leakage problems? Let me tell you an answer first, that is, what is the biggest advantage of this thermal insulation board? It never leaks out. It won't be done like it was later. It is integrated with our main structure. At this time, let's go back to our main construction stage and see how it is constructed. How is it fixed? Walk. What we see now is our integrated board. You can take a look at how our integrated board is fixed to the floor. Come on, give a close shot. You can take a look. This is our resume wall and exterior wall, right? Under normal operation, our exterior wall is here. In other words, the board does not extend. So, in this place, you can clearly see that the board extends 10 cm, right? That is to say, use it to support our integrated board. Come on, let's take a look. Come on, give this shot. Let's take a look. Our integrated board is made of thermally insulated nails and is fixed to the resume wall with thermally insulated nails, right? So what is its density? Its density is 8 to 12 per square meter. In a while, I will take a look at the basic parameters of insulation nails with you. In other words, there are two ways to reinforce the integrated board. The first is to support the floor slab by 10 cm extending outward. The second is to give a close shot through the insulation nail. Come on, the second is to strengthen and fix it through insulation nails like this. Then it can perfectly replace exterior wall formwork. It has two benefits. The first is that it saves wood, it saves templates. That is, now we don't use plywood. We used it instead of plywood and we saved a portion of the wood, right? Moreover, it does not require disassembly, right? You will be fixed directly in the future. This extends the second benefit. What is the second benefit? That is to say, we no longer need to remove the template like the old time and space technology in the past. and then we will make another exterior wall insulation. If you do that, first, it has poor overall performance. Second, it has poor thermal insulation performance, right? So, it has 2 major benefits and 3 major advantages. I will explain it to you clearly here. Below, you'll take a look at our insulation nails. Now, what we see is our insulation nails, which are used to reinforce the insulation board. You can take a look. Its front end has been added to give it a close-up shot. Its front end is a piece of rebar. Why add rebar? As we all know, if rebar is used, concrete will perfectly wrap it around, which will increase its fruit grip. That is, enhance its firmness. Let's take a look. This is our insulation nail. That is to say, by putting it in the insulation board, strengthening it. If you go to the acceptance, you say it is thermal insulation nail. It says that the specifications stipulate that it is my thermal insulation nail, a special joint reinforcement. This is called a special couplet. If it says the specification stipulates 5, it says it will do. Wrong. Because it has prerequisites. What is it? The insulation nails, according to the edges of our insulation board, must not be less than 50, and should not be greater than 150. The distance between the insulation nail and the center of the insulation nail should not be greater than 500. Do you understand? Therefore, it will lead to the fact that its actual layout is much larger than the specification requirements. Then, the insulation template is not disassembled, with a width of no more than 200, and a row of special connections can be set. So what does it mean? Let's take a look. That's it. In other words, its width, if it is less than 200, we only need to set a row of special wall connections in a few items. Then, the width of the insulation template is not removed. What are the general choices? 600 to 1 meter 2. 600 to 1 meter 2. The minimum width cannot be less than 1 meter 5. That is to say, its width must not be less than 105. I just said it wrong. Slip error 150. That